The worst team is really taking off, isn't it? This series is actually really fun to make because I get to use Pokemon I never really get to use. Not to mention I also get to use the worst games in the process of making this team. Yeah, that's right. In this worst team for Sinnoh, instead of using Pokemon Platinum like how I use in the best team, I'm going to be using Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl are way worse because of the Pokemon selection, and because of the selection, this makes it easier to pick out the worst Pokemon. So thank you Diamond and Pearl for actually being really bad. So yeah, worst team. For those of you guys that don't know what a worst team is, let's get into it. Essentially, the worst team is a team of the worst Pokemon in the region of Sinnoh. It's not going to have 6 Magikarp or Chingling. It will be a team that is bad, but can still have a shot at actually beating the games. It'll give you a challenge, but it won't be impossible to beat by any means. If it's a pain in the butt, then good, that's the point. As always, I'll be providing a moveset for these Pokemon that include TM moves, but will not include post-game tutor moves or egg moves. As always, we will go over a list of important battles that these Pokemon can try their best against. Those important trainers consist of all the gym leaders, Elite Four members, champion, rival, and the evil team leaders. Now for this particular worst team for Sinnoh, it'll only be for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, as Platinum has a fair amount of differences that I think would warrant a different team being made. With that being said though, let's hop into this worst team and prepare for some slow surfing. So like always in the worst team series, we skip out on the starter because they're actually decent. Yes, I will admit Torterra, as much as I want to put it on this team, it's actually not horrid. But Torterra is still the worst starter in my opinion, so we're going to be giving Torterra to our rival to make our time a little easier. We'll be starting off with Piplup to make sure Barry gets Turtwig. Now go put Piplup in the PC, it's going to rot there for the rest of the game. Alrighty now, let's get our real starter for this worst team for Sinnoh, being B-Barrel. Now before you yell at me and say, oh my god, B-Barrel, Bidoof god, it's a meme guys. I've seen Dorkly and I've seen Pokemon Rusty and I think it's hilarious. But bottom line, B-Barrel's still awful. But that's okay, because it's going to be the starter in the worst team for Sinnoh. B-Barrel, I will say, is the best HM Slate Pokemon, having access to literally all the HM moves. The water typing also helps it out a lot. So because it's useful but still awful, B-Barrel is going to be joining us on this worst team. It's pretty much tradition to have the early route normal Pokemon on a team at this point, so I've had all of them the worst team so far, so I think we may as well continue the tradition, right? So for a moveset for B-Barrel, I think it's going to be one of the most basic ones out there. We got Return, Surf/Waterfall, Superpower, and Ice Beam. Before we get Return on B-Barrel, just use all the normal attacks you can get on B-Barrel until then. Return is the best normal attack B-Barrel can get with the power of 102 if Happiness is maxed out. The TM for Return can be found at the top of the tower, right below Solaceon Town. Now for B-Barrel's water type option, you have the option of either choosing Surf and switching to Waterfall later, or just keeping Surf on. I say keep Surf on B-Barrel until you get to the Pokemon League, then switch to Waterfall after. Surf is given to you by Cynthia's grandmother in Celestic Town, and Waterfall is given to you by Jasmine once you defeat Falconer. Waterfall is better because B-Barrel has better physical attack than special. Next we got Superpower for coverage, and this move is learned via level up at level 48. Lastly we have Ice Beam. And Ice Beam should be on every water type Pokemon. If you've ever played Pokemon, you guys should know. The team for that can be found on Route 216 after you get Rock Climb. With these moves, God's gonna smite Rourke's team, Byron, Steelix, and Bastiodon, Canis' Snover, Sneasel, and Abomasnow, Vulcaner's Amphi-Bomb and Octillery, just be careful of those electric type moves, and Bullet Seed, Barry's Staraptor, Snorlax, Rapidash, and Torterra, Mars's and Jupiter's Golbat and Perugly, Cyrus's Honchkrow, Crobat, and Weavile, Aaron's Beautifly and Vespiquen, Bertha's Sudowoodo, Golem, and Hippowdon, Flint's entire team, and finally Cynthia's Roserade, Lucario, and Garchomp. Yeah, B-Barrel might take a bit to really show off its power, but a god must leave the insignificant opponents to the others on the team. Why would it waste its time on them? Next on our list we have this God tier bug can be found on the early routes of Sinnoh, easy peasy. I'm sure all of you guys have heard about how horrendous Kricketune is, bad stats, etc. What you've heard is definitely not false because it is here on the worst team with us today. 85 attack and 65 speed, yeah, that's a X for me. It is easily one of the worst bug types ever created in the Pokemon universe. What's iconic about it though is its magnificent cry, that just makes me want to worship it. It doesn't exactly have a great moveset, but I mean hey, at least it gets X-Scissor and a fair amount of physical attack coverage. Even with this though, I think it's going to do horrible as you play throughout Sinnoh, but that's a good thing, right? This is the worst team after all, and we are known for having garbage. Speaking of garbage, let's hop into its moveset. Okay, it's actually not the worst. We take all we can get from this mon though. We got X-Scissor, Aerial Ace, Brick Break, and Swords Dance. So before Crick learns X-Scissor, the best bug type attack it can get until then is Fury Cutter, which can be learned at level 10. X-Scissor is learned at level 26. Aerial Ace is here for coverage against other bug types and such. The team for this can be found over on Route 213 after rock smashing a few rocks. Brick Break is great for for rock-type mons, and that TM can be found in Orber Gate after having access to Surf. Lastly, we have Swords Dance. I think Swords Dance is needed to buff up Kricketune attack. The TM for that can be bought in the game corner for 4,000 coins. With these moves, Kricketune can be a Pestu, Gardenia's team, Byron Steelix and Bastiodon, Canis' entire team, Volkner's Ampibomb, Barry's Heracross, Snorlax and Torterra, Saturn's Kadabra and Toxicroak, Mars's and Jupiter's Purugly, Cyrus's Weavile, Aaron's team aside from Drapion, Bertha's Sudowoodo, Golem and Hippowdon, Flint's Steelix, Lopunny and Infernape, Lucian's team aside from Bronzong, and finally Cynthia's Roserid and Lucario. Honestly, Kricketune is not completely garbage like I thought it would be. It's not amazing by any means, but its moves are decent enough to help us out through some battles, so it's a welcome member to this worst team. So this next Pokemon may tick you guys off a bit, but it's a worse team, so I guess that's good. Say hello to Sandy Cloak Wormadam, probably the worst Pokemon that has been on a worse team so far. What's even bigger BS is that you have to wait to capture Burmy. And when I mean wait, you have to slap honey on trees in order to find it. So have fun with that. Is it worth getting? No. But it's a worse team. Is there anything on this team worth getting? If you still want to do this playthrough, then by all means do it. Just know you'll have to use this piece of sandy trash. I don't know why, but I just dislike this thing so much. Design-wise and viability-wise, it's like, blah. What? I mean, I love Mothman, but this thing just sucks. The Ground-type Cloak is probably my favorite of the Wormadams, though. So I guess that's one positive light. While we are on the subject of typing too, Wormadam doesn't get any bug-type attacks at all. So it's a wasted type. Wormadam doesn't get any bug-type moves. Period. Not even joking. Ground types are really neat to have in Sinnoh though, so Wormadam Sandy Cloak was the worst option I can think of. Okay, so for moves on Wormadam Sandy Edition, you can only do so much, so this was the best I could do with what we had available. Earthquake, Rock Tomb, Psybeam, and Thief. Yeah, Thief. You heard me right. This is what we're working with, guys. So we got Earthquake, Rock Tomb, Psybeam, and Thief. Earthquake is obvious because, duh, Dig is an earlier option, and the team for that can be found in the Rune Maniac Cave over on Route 214. Earthquake is the best ground type attack that it can get, and the team for that can be found in Wayward Cave after strength is obtained. Rock Tomb can be found in Ravage Path right before Floroma Town. This is here because of coverage, and hey, that -1 speed drop can come in clutch. Psybeam is a psychic move we have for Wormadam, and that move can be learned to level 32. Why not Psychic? Because the Pokemon on the team we're gonna get later is gonna need the second type TM more. And the last move we have is Thief. Yeah, we have Thief. It's all we got, believe me. Thief can be found in Eterna City after Cut is obtained. With these moves, Wormadam can do its best against Crasher Wake's Gyarados if you're crazy, Fantina's team with Thief and Psybeam, Byron's entire team, Canis' Snover, Sneasel, and Abomasnow, Volkner's Raichu and Luxray, Barry's Staraptor, Heracross, and Rapidash, Saturn's team, Mars's and Jupiter's Bronzor, Golbat, and Skuntank, Cyrus's entire team, Aaron's team, Bertha's Sudowoodo and Golem, Flint's team aside from Lopunny, Lucian's team aside from Medicham, and finally Cynthia's Roserid and Lucario. On the surface, it might seem like Wormadam can put a large dent in Sinnoh, but don't let the quantity fool you. Wormadam sucks and will be a pain in the butt to use, so just be aware of that before sending it into battle. So the next Pokemon on this list is, oh, what? Chimecho. I forgot this Pokemon even existed along with its pre-evolution Chingling. Well, I guess we're doing this. Chingling can be found on Route 211 at the earliest, and that's right next to Eterna City. Chingling evolves into Chimecho via high friendship at nighttime. Just run around a lot and level it up as much as you can. This process can be really easy if you just run around a lot. Chingling is easy to get early on, and I guess is the best, worst psychic Pokemon we can get. It's a psychic Pokemon, so that also means it has a fun move pool. It's got all kinds of grass moves, electric. It's just a dope Pokemon to use. Stats-wise, it's not great, but I mean, it's definitely not the worst Pokemon on this team. I just think, if anything, it's more of a bizarre choice to use. Chimecho's moveset, however, is actually very fun. Witness this great move pool. We got Psychic, Shockwave, Grass Knot, and Secret Power. Psychic is here for stab, duh, and surprisingly, Chimecho can't learn this attack via level up, so we have to get the TM for it. The TM for Psychic can be found at the game corner, but 10k coins is way too expensive, so wait a bit for the TM instead. If you want to wait for the TM, you can get it on Route 211, west of Celestia Town after using Rock Climb. Shockwave is here for coverage, and that TM can be found over on Route 215. Unfortunately, Chimecho can't learn Thunderbolt, so this is our best option. Grass Knot is another coverage attack. Energy Ball's post-game, so that is also out of the question. Grass Knot can be earned after you defeat Gardenia. It will help out with our Crash Awake problem as well, especially with its Quagsire. Lastly, we have Secret Power. I think it sounds interesting. That's all there is to it. The team for that can be found in Amity Square. With a moveset like this, Chimecho can toll its Belfour, Million's Machoke, Crash Awake's team, Fantinia's Drifbloom, and Gengar, just be careful, Volkner's Octillery, Octillery, Staraptor, Heracross, and Floatzel, Saturn's Toxicroak, Mars's and Jupiter's Golbat, Cyrus's Honchkrow, Gyarados, and Crobat, Aaron's Beautifly and Vespiquen, be careful, Bertha's entire team, Flint's Drifblim and Infernape, and finally Cynthia's Roserade, Gastrodon, and Milotic. Chimecho certainly is pretty useful, I'm not gonna lie, but you gotta be really careful with this thing. I wouldn't ever try anything risky, otherwise it'll end up looking like the Liberty Bell. Oh man, I am ashamed that I have to put one of my favorite flying type Pokemon on a worse team, but alas, I don't really have a choice. Noctowl is the worst flyer in Sinnoh, and that doesn't really say much. Sinnoh has some great flyers, so it was really the only option that was the worst out of the best. Noctowl actually isn't horrible. Great move pull, fun abilities, and it's actually a special attacking flyer versus a physical, which I've always found fun. I've used Noctowl several times in Johto before, so using one in Sinnoh isn't going to be that hard for me. I enjoy using it, so it's not that bad. A plus that Noctowl also has is a psychic move pull. If the moveset I provide to you guys doesn't really fit your interest, by all means use Noctowl's psychic attacks. I didn't want to personally use psychic moves on Noctowl because we already have Chimecho, but hey, use this move pool to your heart's content. It's a great one. Noctowl is actually my second favorite flying type Pokemon, and I hate putting it on a worse team. It actually pains me a lot. Such an amazing design too. Noctowl's move pool is such a fun one though, and I think you guys will be surprised but satisfied with some of the options I have lined up for Noctowl. Obviously we have Fly because duh, we need to move around easier. Shadow Ball is next for coverage, and that will be our main weapon against Fantina. Shadow Ball can be found on Route 210, just be sure to use Defog. Air Slash is the best flying move Noctowl can get, being special. Air Slash can be learned at level 32. Lastly, we have Silverwind. Now Silverwind is a very interesting choice because I think it can come in clutch against some dark type mons, plus that chance to boost all your stats is also really fun. Silverwind was the fun move I was talking about. This move is awesome. Like I said earlier, if you don't like this moveset, use the psychic moves Noctowl has to offer. With this moveset, Noctowl can attempt to do well against Gardenia's team, Malian's Manatite and Machoke, Fantina's team, Byron's Bronzor, Canis's team, Barry's Heracross and Torterra, Saturn's team, Mars's and Jupiter's Bronzor, Cyrus's Weavile, Aaron's team aside from Drapion, Flint's Drifblim and Infernape, Lucian's entire team, and finally Cynthia's Roserade. Honestly, Noctowl is probably the best member on this team. It's definitely the worst flyer in Diamond and Pearl, but it's not really all that bad of a Pokemon. To some of you, this might seem like it goes against what a worst team is, but when you need a flyer and you're the worst one, it doesn't matter if you happen to be a little good, at least in my opinion. Ugh. The last Pokemon on this worst team is trash. Bad stats, slow, and so many weaknesses. How did this Pokemon get on the original best team for Sinnoh? What was I on? Yeah, literally that's all I'm gonna say about it. Next, the moveset for this abomination is gonna be Blizzard, Giga Drain, Rock Slide, and Iron Tail. Blizzard is great because of its ability being Snow Warning. In Hill, Blizzard does not miss, so it actually works out really nice here. Use PPFs if you find some, they'll help out a lot too. Next is Giga Drain, and because this thing is a glass cannon, I want at least some kind of way of getting back HP, so this works well for a grass type glass cannon. Next is Rock Slide, and that's for coverage if you're able to line a hit off first. Rock Slide can be found in Mount Coronet after you get access to Rock Climb. Iron Tail is also here for coverage. I couldn't think of any other coverage attacks for it, so I guess this will have to do. If you guys have any better options other than Iron Tail, let me know down below. The team for that can be found on Iron Island. And finally, with these moves, this abomination trash can try to take down Canis's team aside from Medicham, Vulcan's Octillery, Staraptor, Floatzel, Rapidash, and Torterra, Mars's and Jupiter's Golbat, Cyrus's entire team, Aaron's Dustox, Beautifly, and Vespiquen, Bertha's team. Technically, you could take on Flint's team if you wanted to use Rock Slide, but no. And finally, Cynthia's Roserade, Gastrodon, Milotic, and Garchomp. Yeah, Abomasnow is trash. It lures you in with a cool concept, a nice looking move pull, and then you're reminded about everything else, and that makes it so hard to tolerate, let alone use effectively, which is why it's a natural fit for this worst team. Well, that wraps up the worst team for Sinnoh. This series has definitely gotten a bit more interesting as we had the physical special split to take into consideration once again. Even still, I feel I was able to find the best selection of garbage Pokemon from Sinnoh. I even managed to get an old member from the best team on here, which is pretty funny. Yeah, that was a big abomination. Anyways, what'd y'all think of this terrible team? Did I nail it, or are there somehow even more terrible Pokemon that I overlooked? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Want to support me further in game called Perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Dirt Weez Austin, and Sudden Grider did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrand, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.